It's me, QB. I'm sorry, darlings. I guess I tried to erase what that child was talking about, and I ended up erasing my own life. So now I got to start over again. So, hi, P1. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, darling. I pushed the wrong button. But he looking for me. Hi, man right chair. Man right chair. Man right. You looking for me? Man right chair. QB is looking for me this morning. I went on this morning. I'll tell you briefly again. I went on this morning. Nobody was on of any interest to me. Let me click on this dude, QB. He was the only one live, right? So I went on there and I don't go on there maybe every 4 or 5 months. But when I saw he kept talking about something that Bless Watkins was saying, because the title of his video was Leave Ty Alone. I know the person he's talking about. It's a nice person. I like her. I said, let me go see what he's talking about, right? I go on there and he's talking all about what Bless Watkins said. So I stroll on over to Bless Watkins' page, and she is also live. As I'm listening to Bless Watkins' page, Tracy comes on to Bless Watkins' chat, and she's saying, why is QB coming for Timothy Blaine? I said, oh, what is this? Do I have a guardian angel leading me and directing me into these things? I always seem to find them. Anyway, she said, why is he coming for Timothy Blaine and his book? So I go back over to QB of the Midwest. Of course, he's on there for hours and hours and hours. I think it's 3 hours long video. I skipped through and I found about where was it at? 1.50. That's the timestamp. I go on there and this dude calls himself trying to light my ass on fire, right? Now, the instrument he's using is a book, a memoir that I wrote entitled Math Monster, available on Amazon for only $4.99, I believe. Something like that. You can get the whole book for $10. Shameless plug. So he's on here. So I try to play some of his, whatever. I don't need him to play them. They play all these games. They try to get your flags and all this kind of shit. Although they're able to go on there and talk about me for 2 hours. So the boy is on here said he's going to read my book. And he has many criticism at first. He starts off real snarky, right? He says he's going to cover one chapter of his book. But as he's reading the book, he goes on to the second chapter. He can't read that well, let's be honest. So he says, oh, I don't want to get flagged. So I'm just going to take out little pieces. Girl, you can't read. You can't do public reading. It's obvious the way you stumble over the words. But whatever, however you want to spin it, honey. So then he goes to chapter 2. Oh, I got to get some more of this. Oh, he kept saying, oh, like he getting hot tea, you know. Then he's in chapter 3. I said, well, boy, you said you were only going to do chapter 1. What is compelling? He's starting to dig into, and you know why I started digging to you, QB? Because I wrote it for you. I wrote my book, The Meth Monster, first of all, for my own reasons, my own cathartic reasons, to write my own memoir, to tell the truth about what happened. But mainly, it was because of people like you, QB, before you get into the big, heavy drugs, because you are a drug addict after all, right? So you're reading it from the perspective of a young drug addict. And I'm writing to you as an old drug addict who has gotten out of the life and trying to show you the path that I took. But oh no, he wants to make it a read, right? So he goes all into my childhood. He talks about when I was molested. She talks all about my mama and her fucked up husband and all this kind of stuff. Like he's really reading me. QB, the last time I checked, that book sold over 6,000 copies. 6,000 copies. So more than likely, the people who take time to watch me on here have already read the book. What is outstanding about it? Only one thing, because it is the truth. It is my effort to try to school young drug addicts like you. You see, when we got to the part about, let me see, he started off in chapter 1, got to chapter 4. This is the title, the chapter I titled Meth Monster. That's really where the book really takes off. So he's going to go all nuts. He's going to get all drawn into it, right? Because it's talking to people like him, young people with HIV, people struggling, people trying to find out and figure themselves out, young guys on the street selling their ass in their teens, early 20s, young people getting involved in dysfunctional relationships, young people who haven't discovered crack yet. We assume crack, heroin, meth, all those things that happen. QB, I was writing it for you. I was trying to save somebody. Maybe I can help somebody along the way. But you decided it is a read. And I didn't take time. Oh, let me stop for a minute, people. How y'all doing? All the stuff he's saying, all the things he said, he thinks is tea about me. He said, oh, QB, aren't your parents drug addicts? Why is this all so shocking to you? Aren't you a current drug addict? Isn't it already impossible for you to come online for more than 10 minutes without getting high? Don't you have to always be drinking something, QB of the Midwest? Weren't you selling your ass when you met your husband, QB of the Midwest? Aren't you from the slums of Chicago, QB of the Midwest? What in the hell are you? About? Rest assured, I told the absolute truth of my story, and never once did you hear me refer to my mother as a crackhead. There might not have been no daddy there, but there was nobody else in there doing drugs either, honey. So I'm amused by the fact that you think this is so shocking. How could it be shocking if I've taken a whole year to put it on paper? And if I made it available to anybody, any crackhead on the street can go and get that book for $5. So I'm trying to figure out why you are trying to come for me, or think you're coming for me, by reading my own memoir. I was amused by it. I watched it for at least an hour. I was amazed that you kept going and going and going and going, because it's going to capture your heart. When you started, you said, I'm going to read it and then burn it. This tells me that either you're trying to ride for somebody, or you're trying to ride for that fire monster. Is that what it is? Because of all the time I've been on YouTube, I have not once had to use your name. And you, as far as I know, have not once had to use mine. So why all of a sudden this urgent interest in Timothy Blaine? Has there been a conversation possibly between you and the fire monster, or one of your other followers, because you feel like you're a part of something now? I want to be a part of it. In Florida, I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps. Find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. So you decided you're going to come for all the ones who she comes for, right? You're going to just create enemies. Boy, you know I'm going to make it hard on you, though. So I wish you would have thought this through a little bit more, because I'm going to come for you. It's going to be bad, too. But let's go on about your little performance this morning. On and on and on. Oh, he was a drug addict. Oh, he was smoking weed. I said, girl. QB, weren't you a young prostitute on the streets of Chicago? That's a hard life there. So I don't know how any of these things would be particularly shocking to you, particularly you. I don't know how anything about drugs would be shocking to you when you've already confessed that both your mother and your father were crackheads and are still currently crackheads. And you, sir, are crackhead. At the very least, you're a drug addict. You're a practicing addict. So I hope when you listen to when you try to read my story, try to read me like I'm ashamed of something in there. Why did I write it if I'm ashamed of it? Well, you're reading through there. Notice how I started, though. I started the drug. It was always weed, right? Always with that whole second chapter. It's weed. And then at some point, it turns, doesn't it? Doesn't it, QB? You took a real interest in acid use. Stair steps. You're on your way, boy, to a life unlived. So yes, I wrote it for people like you. Maybe we can help you and let you see what that life is really, really about. Because you think you know what it's really about, but you're only on the surface so far as we know, because right now you got a roof over your head, and right now you probably sell your ass a little bit out there on the boulevard. But it changes, doesn't it, QB of the Midwest? So if you decided you want to come for Timothy Blaine now because you are part of the production, is that what you really believe, boy? You appeared in one little 10-minute episode. That doesn't make you a part of shit. We don't even know what it is, honey. Anyway, you follow behind that fire monster, and you think you're going to go and get somebody. First of all, you ought to be celebrating that I could even write a book. Can you? You keep saying, "Oh, I can't read because I don't want to get demonetized. I don't want bullshit." You didn't read it because you can't read, girl. Did you even trying to make fun of my education, girl? Didn't you get your GED 10 years later? See, you gotta watch what you put your mouth on, boy. Because somebody like me, I can go in there into 3 of your prize-winning videos, and I can pull it all out of there. I can rip you apart, but I don't know why you would want to ask for such a thing. But I did enjoy your going over my story because it was the truth. And I recognized a twist in the story because when they really got into those streets, you start relating to things. You start relating to love and being in love with an older person. And there's much more there you're going to relate to, QB. I'm hoping that you haven't already gotten there yet. I'm hoping that you already got a crack pipe in your back pocket. I'm hoping, but it doesn't look that well. We see all these images of people kicking in your door and get crackheads being drug out your house and trade all over the place, beating you up and all kind of shit. So I'm hoping that all this stuff hadn't happened. But knowing that you were a prostitute, a streetwalker, I know you've experienced all the things I talked about. They're not unique things, right? We know that. So you go ahead and you have yourself a ball. Laugh and joke about my life. But you understand this. I've already lived mine, honey. I've already done it. I'm retired, clean and sober, damn near 20 years. You're still in it. You are still in it, honey. All the things I talked about, you are still got your ass in it. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Are you smoking a joint right now? Did you got a doobie in your ashtray right now? What are you sipping on? What is it? It's 11:30 in the morning here. So was it 12:30 in Chicago? Are you already having a drink? Who called me from Missouri? I don't think I know nobody in Missouri. We'll see. Are you already having yourself a drink? Like when I started my book talking about Jesus. All I'm trying to do is explain to you what happened to me. Maybe there's some hope for you. Maybe you could rescue some of those years before you fuck them off. Because that's where you're headed. You couldn't even go on your little trip. You couldn't even go on your little trip without broadcasting that you're getting high every moment of the damn trip. Did you notice that from my book? That was Timothy Blaine. Oh, take a snapshot of my life. I'm Timothy Blaine. Because that's exactly what it was, girl. Same age, same drugs, same everything. Selling your ass, everything. It's all the same, girl. And all that other horrible shit you're about to encounter in that book, that's where you're going. So the whole point is to try to stop you from going to where it's inevitable on the trajectory that you're on right now. Do another hit. I'll get back to you. Hey, people. Here we go, Tim. Baby, I don't know why these children, they sit back and they decide, I'm going to go ahead and go off to that old man, Timothy Blaine. I don't know why. Because I really I'm barely aware of him. I know that he had a beef going with James. So I would hear James talk about him. That's kind of all I would really know, though. But I see him, like other people, they got involved in this little project. They got their little 15 minutes of fame or whatever. And now they feel important. And they feel like now they can comfort people. They got it going on. It's ridiculous. Why you choose to come after me, I'll admit it, a gorilla. Why would you go and poke a gorilla in the ass? Oh, you guys are up. Here again. Yeah, I'm sorry. I played a little bit of that voice. I mean, he don't say that much. The voice is kind of interesting. It's cute when I thought it was cute when he kept saying, oh, there was violence in the home. Oh. Both your parents are crackheads and you have experienced no violence in the home, huh? Nobody coming home and running off with the TV. What are you doing, QB? Who are you trying to impress, honey? You've expressed too much of your own story. You're exposed too much of your own story to be trying to comfort anybody. You're from the slums of Chicago, child. All we hear about is the violence in Chicago, but you never heard of any of it. Oh, oh, oh. I want you to finish the book before I really carry it to you. So I'm hoping you do. I like hearing it myself. I did it 14 years ago, but 14, something like that. That book was a bestseller in my life, honey. Hi, praline chocolates. It's so terrible. I can't eat chocolate no more. I can't eat no sweets. I get that all that sugar-free stuff. It ain't no good. It ain't like no real pralines, honey. Praline chocolates. Good morning, Nikki. Hi, Rico. Yeah, y'all up out of that bed? It's just amusing to listen to that boy, QB. Now, I haven't, like I said, I don't watch him, so I got to go do some research on him. Maybe we can avert it if he shut the hell up, but I kind of like him doing the book because he started off with one chapter, and when he went into 4 chapters, he was getting enthralled. And you know why you were getting enthralled, QB? Because you lived it. You're living it right now. You're living everything I talked about right now. Go try to read somebody. You gotta go back over there to that old crazy ass. She gonna turn on you too, QB. Don't, honey. Just like you call yourself coming for me now. When they run out of people to bitch with, she got about 20 enemies going at the same time. So when she gets through with them, she's coming for you. Believe that. You don't believe me? Ask Wilson about the saved tapes. He's mad because he can't read and write. He was struggling to read those little passages. I mean, I'm dyslexic myself. I understand. But when you try to come for other people, let me see what else is going on here. And then somebody's got to be high all the damn time. That doesn't say much for your future, QB. Well, you think you just smoke weed and drink, and that's the way it stays? That is not what drug addicts. That's not the trajectory, honey. You always increase it. This is the way drugs are. You start off with something, right? And then you're always on the increase. The next thing you try, right? Because you got no career or anything. You got nothing to live for necessarily. All you got to do is really hang out and get high. And did you have the nerve to try to talk about my housing? Aren't you on subsidized housing? You're in your 20s. You're already on subsidized housing. What are you talking about? Why would you try to come for that? You're just like the Fire Monster. It makes no sense for you to try to come for me, at least on that tip. At least on drugs tip. At least on prostitution. Certainly not parents. Whatever I can say about my mama, whatever, I ain't never known her to even take a hit of a cigarette. So I don't know how you come. Oh, there was violence in the home. Even went into my personal life with my family. You thought that was really going to hurt. Guess what, QB? If it was really going to hurt repeating it, why would I put it in a memoir? Doesn't make sense, kid. Do your research before you try to come for somebody. You say you're going to burn my book. Now at the end, he said, oh, maybe I won't burn this book. Oh, maybe I won't burn it. Maybe you got a book in you somewhere, QB. Watch how you make your enemies. You ain't got no reason to be hating on me, boy. I ain't did nothing to you. You over there trying to ride for Fire Monster? Bad decision, bad choice. Look at her track record. Your ass is going, you're going to see them little QB shoes sticking right out from under the bus, honey. Whenever she calls for you. Any kind of phone call you've had with her, believe me, she's saving the calls. She's saving any message you've ever sent her because that's her insurance policy. Just like she did with that Jay Wilson monster. It's the same damn thing. But at the appropriate time, she's going to pull all that out on your ass. Or if she wants you to do something, she's going to remind you, oh, I saved those calls. Remember, she was taunting him 2 months before she exposed her saved records, her saved whatever it was, audio. You think she ain't gonna do that to you? QB, sober up so you can think. But you want some of this Timothy Blaine, huh? Okay. We can keep it light for the moment. I got to go and look into you, but I don't think it's what you want, really. Not really. Because I'm dried up. I'll tell you right now, I am dried up. I'm not beefing with nobody. That damn J Monster was a gold mine for me. So I'm just laying in the cut for the perfect bitch that comes after me. Right? And you just gonna dip your head into the goddamn lion's den. I'm telling you, I think it's a bad choice. I think you could have chose much better. And choose on what your own beliefs are. Don't choose on following some other bitch. Some fine monster who you barely know. She's going to turn on you. Remember, she already has a contempt for homosexual people. So you think it's not going to come a time when she turns on you? What about when she runs out of ammunition? She runs out of content. It's going to happen because she don't got none. How are you going to try to shade someone with their own truth that they already told? Girl, bye. Uncle Tim is not pressed. You're right about that, Terrell. I am not pressed about not about that, honey. I don't care about that shit. My life is finished. I'm retired, honey. All I got in me is a story. I told mine. Now, QB, you gonna tell yours, or will you live to tell it? That's another thing, another real possibility. You do live in Chicago, right? You are a practicing drug addict living in Chicago, right? In a not so let's say a not so lovely part of Chicago. Girl, will you even make it to C60? I'm hoping to help somebody like you. Somebody like you. Someone like you could really love me. Oh, I can believe that someone like you could really make love to me. That ain't got nothing to do with the story. QB, you're very sensitive about your love life, about your relationship and all that. You break into tears and fits and things. You're so upset somebody mentioned that. So why would you come in there and try to expose my whole family? Why would you come and try to embarrass me with my own molestation and my own struggles? Dig into my own relationships when you're so sensitive. Is this why you keep getting into trouble with people talking about your dead husband? Now, see, I'm not going to do something like that. The man ain't did anything to me. I have no reason to do something like that. But is this why you keep running into those kinds of problems? It is all about respect. Since you show me no respect, how can I be expected to show you anything called respect? You see, it all depends on how much the person wants to dig into it. Do you know the joy of YouTube? You can go back with people when they first get on here, they're dumb and stupid, right? So they don't know that they can't give out certain kind of information on YouTube. They don't know about the kind of people who are on YouTube who are going to use your past against you. They don't know that. So when they first start out, they tell everything. It's just talking. They're just keeping it real, right? Do you know all I have to do is go back to your first videos? I mean, you can go try to erase them all now, but it's all out there, really. We had no way of knowing that you were a prostitute. We had no way of knowing that your husband picked you up as a prostitute, and he later fell in love with you, and you fell in love with him. But it's all there. Why would you expose yourself to that? Laughing. How you gonna laugh at me, boy? You're in it right now, QB. You're fighting for your life right now. Anytime you can't do a 20-minute video without getting high, you're in trouble, kid. Real trouble. It's just weed. Read the book again. Read the passages about weed, because it all started with weed. Right? The progression. It always gets worse. Ask your dad. A small back. Go ahead and get there. Boy, he's happy about his small back. I mean, you're a bottom there. Because we don't want nobody want no man with no small back. So you're confessing right there. See how easy it is? Your small back. That's a womanly feature. So you bragging about your small back, telling me that you're still getting pumped. When it gets to the chapter, QB, the QB monster, what's your name? That don't sound right, the QB monster. No, your name is Q Monster. Q Monster, when you get to the chapter called Meth Monster, oh, you really going to relate to that. You're going to relate to the whole thing. As a matter of fact, since you say you want to read, but you're afraid I'm going to flag you and all that, you have my permission. Read the chapter entitled Meth Monster, and let's see if you see any of yourself in it. You have my permission. Read the whole chapter. I was enjoying myself, especially when you're trying to say like you really got something. Ooh, ew. oh, girl, I said this thing. You must have just did a hit. I would love for you to come on here and tell us your drug story, the real story. I don't want to know about you smoking weed. I want to know what you don't do on camera. That would be a fascinating story, wouldn't it? And you can help and share with us what goes on with the fire monster. You're both getting high together, right? QB. It's me, QB. Queen Bussy. Queen Bussy. Okay. I may be a meth monster, but you are certainly a Q monster. And no doubt a crack monster. You is a crack monster if ever I've seen one, honey. You have to be high to put in fake braids into a hat, glue them into the hat, and put the hat on and come in front of people like it's your hair. Now, women can do stuff like that, but that's not what men do, honey. Only men who do shit like that, because they sell them down here at the pier. You know, the Rastafarian hats with the braids sewed into the back of them and stuff like that. Basically what you're doing. How can you go and have long dreads one day or long braids one day, and then the next day you're bald-headed? Was it supposed to be stuffed in the hat? You only do that because you're high. You only do that because you're high. That man that came back to your house and kicked your door in and took your money from you, he only does that because he needs crack. So that tells us that you are fucking crackheads. Now, what crackhead is sitting up here having sex with somebody who's not a crackhead? No, you're both doing crack. That's why he felt like it was okay to come and kick your door in and take your wallet from you. It was nothing new in that. You're used to that kind of behavior. And are you really going to come from my house, my apartment? Aren't you in the same situation, QB? So I know the whole system, honey. I done lived through the whole goddamn system. I know exactly what it is. You would hope to end up as good as I am. Nah, QB gives me Tina vibe. Well, if you have a small back, that means you're bragging about your womanly body. That tells me that you're bottom. Lazy bottom. If you're going to be a pothead, be a smart pothead. Don't be online getting high. Isn't that stupid? Were you even aware? Hi, Troy Allen. Troy Allen, did you disappear for a minute and then you just came back recently? Because I stopped seeing you. What do you say? Who was out the way? Just fell out skybox. QB was a streetwalker. Yeah, he was a streetwalker. I did my time on the first year I got to, he skipped over my whole book, but that first year I got out to California, yeah, I put some work in. I'm not even ashamed of it. I had a ball, honey. That was long before any AIDS was around. Clip-on braids. It's a crackhead move. You get high, you be done there, you're putting all kind of shit on yourself, you know. I've been in the houses. I watched them get dressed. I've seen the ridiculous things they do. You see these guys out here on the street, half women's clothes, half men clothes, shit don't match, and all this kind of crazy shit. They do that because they're high. They do it because they're high and they're homeless. You got fortunate, QB. You got fortunate because you got rescued by benefits, basically. You're getting benefits in your 20s. And you want to laugh at me? I'm a senior citizen, baby. I would get benefits if I had no disease. I'm already 62 years old. I've already made it there. Looks like we made it. What was that Barry Manilow song? Let me see. God rained on too and made it through. It'll come back to me. I got a Barry Manilow song I want to sing to you that fits so well in this conversation. I'm not meaning Tina Turner, a different kind of Tina. Velcro braids, all right. Put them on and take them off. I'm around, took a little time off. Okay, I feel you. Sometimes it's hard. But it was amazing how that thing worked this morning, though, because I was just saying, I hope I can find some content today. Because these hoes don't act a fool. I ain't got no content, right? Now, like I said, the newscasters, people like that, they're on every day, right? They always got something to say. And the professionals on here, even the people who make videos regularly on every single day, they do their research. But they're getting paid to do the research, honey. I ain't getting nothing for this. So I can't be motivated. I got to really care about the story. And God sent me QB. QB bounced off to Bless Watkins, bounced back to Tracy, bounced back from Tracy to back to QB. Right in the middle, I found out I got a 2-hour video about me and my work and my book. So I don't think you got to, I don't need much endorsement or I don't need much promotion, QB, because the book is sold over 6,000 copies. Probably everybody I know has already read it. It's old news, QB. So the next time you're talking to your fine monster and she's trying to motivate you who to go out on, there's been a rumor. People, what is that? I heard yesterday. Somebody was saying that people involved in that project were supposed to come after Timothy Blaine. What people were being sick on other people to start beefs and stuff with them, that they're no longer involved. Why do you assume that we put our work in and now you put a little bit of work in? Why do you think that would erase the work that we put in? Are we in a different boat or not? I'm not sure, because they won't tell us very much. But I would think that just because you got caught on the very last thing, that would not erase all the work they've already put in, because they paid for that too. All those tickets were already paid for. All those hotel rooms and accommodations, all that shit was already paid for. So unless they just donated it like charity, I don't know whether you're in any closer position than I am. Now, if you listen to that fine monster over there, she's gonna tell you that she's on her way to Hollywood, because she was on. I went to 2 of them. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm about to be a millionaire, she said. Girl, you ain't going nowhere nobody else going, honey. You can cross your fingers and them old crusty toes. I don't know why these black people do all this damn bragging and stuff. QB, I mean, I'm not saying that I have any stellar background, whatever. I would say I had a good mother. She worked. She supported her family. She got her little house. She did the best that she could for her time, right? You get on here, they all we, but Ozzy and Harriet. Oh, we had 2 parents. Oh, my dad would never raise his voice. Oh, my mom. Oh, she was a homemaker. All this bullshit. That's what you're finding in my book. That's what's interesting about it, QB, because it's telling the truth. When you learn how to tell the truth, boy, you'll have a chance of surviving this drug addiction that you have. As long as you're lying to yourself and everyone around you, you'll never get over it. I'll tell you that right now. They tell you that even in the AA handbook. The one thing that will defeat you is your inability to tell the goddamn truth and to embrace spiritual principles. That's it. I'm not a part of that program, but I remember little things about it. I went there 20-some years ago. One thing that will defeat you, your inability to accept spiritual principles. So you think that me being a spiritual person, that is a joke or something. Is that a laugh? Am I still sitting here 20 years later without the same issues that you're having right now? Tell us about all the drama that goes on when you're a drug addict, QB. Because there's always drama, honey. It's a given. Every single night, there's drama. Somebody got robbed every night, right? Somebody went to jail every night, right? Isn't that right? QB, isn't somebody get ripped off every single day? That's the life. You live in a big city. You live in Chicago. Hey, LaSparkle, Almond Brown. Damn, it's a mess. I'm not a mess. These children come for me, honey. I would play what he said on there, but I think the Holy Ghost was telling me, no, don't play it, because he made me erase the last video. I do sometimes feel like as a guy, I've been thinking, well, the only person that would really do something like that would be my ex-partner. Is he somehow in the spiritual realm guiding me and leading me? How did he drop me right into this QB monster's lap? Excuse me, the Q monster. The Q monster's lap. All around, because I started off with his video. I had no idea. Oh, he was coming on hard about me though, honey. Oh, yes, baby. Y'all go over there, give him a click in the view. I'm sure he needs the money. I'm sure he needs the coin to pay for that weed. But he just shows us the weed. If people are so free to show you the weed and the alcohol, that means they have other things going on too. We don't see everything, honey. I would assume that boy has enough sense not to come in there smoking crack online. I mean, I'm assuming. I could have fathered him, the QB monster. They say his dad's a crackhead. I don't know. I don't know. Some people seem to think his dad is a crackhead right now, which would tell me that all the I don't think any of it was be a surprise to a person raised in the street. You would be what you considered a street kid. From what I understand, is at a very young age, you start living in the houses with drag queens. Am I not right? I don't mention nobody else's name. I don't involve them in your mess or my mess. But they had to take you in off the street, right? I mean, it's understandable. If your mom's a crackhead and your dad's a crackhead, and God knows what they're doing to get their drugs, because we always got to have a hustle, right? So if you come out of that environment, I understand. I used to be, when I was in that street life, how you doing there, Spill It Boy TV? When I was in that street life, I would be with women, meth monster women, who would actually be sitting up in my room, whatever hotel I was staying in, getting high, and don't even remember where they left their kids. I'm telling you the truth. It was the most amazing thing in my life. They had to go back and backtrack to see where they left their kids. So I'm not amazed from someone from your background, but I'm amazed that you think there's something amusing about it. Ooh, 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 girl, please. Like you ain't been selling ass all your life. Girl. Okay. He's a crack baby. Well, I guess I mean, in a way, I mean, you got to understand something, people. Biology is biology. Just because you're a drug addict don't mean you can't have children. So all these people y'all see out here that are drug addicts, people out of their minds and so forth, they still have kids. Many times they do have kids. And unfortunately, many times these grandmothers are burdened with these children that their kids have left behind because they could not bear to see their children raised in such environments. Or they're running from CPS. I'll take them before the popo take them. But you, posters on the wall, crackhead, drug addicts, drop top sauna. He's 40 years old. Well, now I'll give him that. He does look young when he got his hat on. Niecy Poo done messed up again. Following behind, it got to be following behind that meth monster, that fire monster. The fire monster, see, there's a meth monster, that's me. A fire monster, that's that thing. And now there's his boy, Q Monster, who is following behind the fire monster. She have to be. They've been talking all week about certain people been asked to go off on me for some reason. Oh, you're not a part of them. They think that now they are the ones, honey. You are the third and fourth string. You've been sitting on the bench for 4 and 5 string. They ain't even thought about your ass into the 5th quarter when they didn't have that needed people desperately. But yet now you are the front runners and you are the stars. And we are the discards. Does it even make sense? Girl. I ain't riding on the show because I want it to be successful. I think the thing about it is we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. I spent hours and hours and hours with these people, and I still don't know what it is. So bragging is out the door, honey. You're just hoping something comes of it. This is all contingent on the brilliance of these producers, what they decide to do. But not one person is not greater than the other person. It wouldn't surprise me, we all end up on there. Maybe they're going to take our screenshots even, or I'm going off on each other and make that part of the thing. We don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Nobody has bragging rights. Not yet. Of course, you got the Fire Monster over there. She's a star. She said she's about to be a millionaire. A millionaire. Why don't we start off with a 2-bedroom apartment, Fire Monster? Let's start there. Let's shoot for the 2-bedroom before you take on your millions. If she ever did if something was successful, she'd be one of them ones on her first paycheck, go out and bid her a Chateau Chalet. You got Chateau Chalet still struggling under that mortgage, walking around in them empty ass rooms, round and round and round and round. I wanted to be impressive, she said. Oh, I want them to come in and say, oh, look at this. Girl, and you ain't using nothing but the kitchen and your bedroom. Chateau Chalet. Then when they throw your ass out or the thing comes to an end, how do you make the mortgage? Oh, no one thought of that. The spirit guy, who's talking about the spirit guy? I believe it really is. You know what? Before Lauren Maxwell, every time I got broke, seemed like I had to struggle. Remember, I started from zero, coming out of drug program. So every time I get broke, I would start finding dimes all over the place. I mean, I pulled it out one time. Somebody made fun, said I thought it was too many, but just dimes and dimes and dimes. I couldn't believe it. And it seemed to only happen whenever I got broke. So I said, well, God, it must be some kind of spiritual element to this thing. Why do I always find these dimes? So I would never worry about anything, right? Because I know when I start finding them dimes, I'm just being looked after. And something always came through. Okay. These are all, yeah, beautiful. Ivory. These are all dimes, right? In this thing here. These are all single dimes that I found on the street, on the subway, on the curb. If it's a dime, I'll pick it up. If it's a quarter, I have no use of it. If it's a nickel, I have no use of it. Penny, never pick them up. But the dimes, whenever I spotted dimes, I would save them, right? Is there anything in here? I'm scared to pour it in there. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Let me see. Oh, here's something right here. Okay, here's how many times I found a single dimes on the street. Am I in the glass? You see that? All those were single dimes I would find. And I would find my way out of financial crises. So to me, I said, well, either it's my ex-partner or angel, maybe it's my grandmother. I'm sure God has more things to do, but they'd be passing out dimes. But I believe that it was something about me that would be connect with wherever a dime was. Sometimes they would be laying in a crack somewhere, just laying straight up and down in a crack. And I would spot that dime. Now that I've been doing okay financially, I never find dimes. You see? So I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the spiritual forces. They used to call it back when we were in school, they called it ESP. So it could be something just simple as that, an extrasensory perception, right? That we're calling now the Holy Ghost. But they used to talk a lot about ESP. I ain't smart enough to go into all the details about that. But yes, many, many, many times, I feel like, God, somebody just gave me an answer. Where did it come from? And I learned to depend on it. So I'm a spiritual person, QB. So don't laugh too loud, baby. Don't laugh too loud. Because there may be a time when you're laying there in your vomit and you want to call out to something. Don't eliminate that something. Always remember there's a possibility that I might need help at some point. I might be calling on the glory of God to save my ass. Yes, you spirit guide you. That's my book, The Epiphany. It was my second novel. That's what they are. They are epiphany. People say, oh, you misspelled it. You put an eye on it. No. I ain't misspelled shit. They are epiphany. They're like supernatural beings. Like you have an epiphany. Oh, I know what direction to go now because I had a certain epiphany But this would be actual people that will come and tell you things. And then after they tell you, they disappear. You don't even remember them. You don't even remember talking to them. But you remember the direction they gave you. That was my book, my best book. Yes, God and all of his forces. All of it. However he does it. I am certainly a believer. Bless my spirit guide. All the angels around me. Right. James Caldwell. Oh my goodness, James Caldwell. You didn't bless me twice. Bless your heart. I don't know why your niece, what you call her, your niecey poo. Child, I don't know why that thing came after me. I suspect I've been hearing that they've been telling people to come after these other people who are in past, like they think they're the stars. Come after them other ones, whatever. I ain't never said nothing about that bitch. She never said nothing about me. I was just letting her live. I would hear when you say something about her. That's the only way I would be aware of that she's saying stuff. But for some reason, she wants to come on back. And I keep trying to tell these dumbass children, all you got to do is go back in their videos. You can find out anything you want to find out about them. But I don't know how she is criticizing my upbringing or my street life, but she's doing the same damn thing. I was never so strung out on drugs that I couldn't even communicate for a few minutes without getting high. She can't even make it to a video. She's going on trips in other states, carrying drugs across the state lines because she has to get high. That's a drug addict. When you have to have it, it's a drug addict. Whether you strung out on weed, you strung out on booze, you strung out on crack, strung out on meth, it's all the same thing. Ain't no big difference. Honey, a crackhead rip you off and so would an alcoholic. So would a meth head. But he said, ooh. He said he got the hot tea, honey. Ooh. These hoes, I just don't know, honey. Y'all looking for me? Ha, man right here. Where am I at? Thank you, Lady Nika. How you doing? Let them know grace and mercy. That's it, honey. Grace and mercy. Be humble. Humble unto your God, honey. You're going to need him. Ain't no demon you can call on to get you out of drug addiction. You can believe that shit. People say, oh, you got to go to AA meetings the rest of your life. I ain't been to one in at least 18 years. No, it's a spiritual thing, honey. It's a spiritual deliverance. And it's wonderful. So don't laugh too hard, QB. Don't laugh too hard. And I didn't have no idea you were damn near 40 years old. I thought you was a young person. Girl, I'm telling you, it's harder and harder to get you a good husband. It seems like you really want to be in love. You're just touched at the mention of certain names. But don't assume it's going to happen again, baby. That might be why you're getting so high. Maybe you're just lonely. Hi, Chocolate Dream. Barack. I thought Live Babe had eulogized him. Live Babe was eulogized, buried, and she's come up from the grave. She's come up from the grave. But I don't give a damn who I bury and kill. If they had the nerve to bring their ass out there, they can still get their head knocked off. Right? It's all about respect. Now, that other thing, that Wilson thing, I just don't want to be bothered with that story anymore. I made too many videos. We did too much with that. So I would probably just ignore him. I don't hear him, so I don't know what the hell he's saying. But at least he did have to respect, enough respect to leave me the fuck alone. She don't possess that. She ain't got no goddamn respect. She don't even know what it is. Oop. Hey, y'all. Lord, I've been on here 49 minutes running my mouth about this child. Y'all better get your son out of the streets. Although he did seem that book did seem to be getting to him, though, because he couldn't put it down. He said he's going to read out of the first chapter. He's going to discuss the first chapter. And then he said, oh, let me get a little more. Ooh, ooh. I always think he's going to get some more tea. Ooh, ooh. Knowing he done did that much and worse. And if he hasn't, he was concentrating. He said, oh, you were stealing since you were 8 years old. Yes, bitch. I already told you I was the crook. To thine own self be true. I'll tell you this. I ain't stole nothing in the last 20 years. I got to figure it out. If it's 17 or 20 years. I think I've been, maybe it's 18 years. Whatever it is, honey. I am delivered. I no longer have to do the things that I did. Behold, all things are become new. Old things have passed away. Good reads are hard to put down. Yeah, I guess that's what that 5 miles. I don't even, when I was there with that thing and she came up to me, she said, what, you had a problem with me? I couldn't even think of what it was. I said, girl, you're so nothing. You're so shallow. I mean, I don't consider that even a beef. I don't know what the hell that is. You come for me and I come back for you. I guess it's just a YouTube fodder. Okay, sometimes it's difficult to be a good Christian. Yeah, I believe Christianity is your belief in Christ, giving your faith to Jesus. That is it for me. So I don't buy into all this. If you're a Christian, oh, that means you don't cuss. Oh, I'm a Christian. So I mean, oh, I don't have no premarital sex. Oh, I'm a Christian. No, all that stuff was added on later on, honey. That ain't got nothing to do with no gospel, child. All that these little behaviors and things like that, that was added by the Christian church. Jesus was long past dead at that time. They added all this. Oh, if you do this, you'll know God better. Oh, if you don't smoke cigarettes, you'll know God better. Anybody know God better? Does anybody know God any better than I do? Oh, you got to have a baby so you have to be a better Christian. Oh, you can't say no bad word. What the hell is the bad word got to do with my Christian faith, honey? It's all about Jesus. It's all about God. It ain't got nothing to do with this little petty ass shit that we do. I ain't shit and you ain't either. I'm sorry. It might come hard. You know, a lot of these people, these single mothers and stuff, they're trying to raise their family. I get it. You want to have some morals and whatever. But we see what real faith that is. Look at Donald Trump. They say he's a supreme leader, he said. I think he said he was sent here by God, or he's the salvation of the world, or some shit, all because he held the Bible up and said, please. This man is presenting as everything but the devil himself. And they're talking about that's a Christian. Know God for yourself, people. Just trust him. Talk to him. Listen. And when you have answers, I call them epiphanies. You have answers. It's from God, honey. It's you connecting with the Spirit. That's how you get through. That's how you get through, GED. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the screen. It says GED, so I put that in there. See, why is GED going in so hard? He doing this for the show. Another puppet. I'm beginning to get suspicious there, Bright Star, because he had no reason on earth to go and order my book and then come over here and try to read me about what's in it. You just promoting it, honey. I ain't ashamed of shit. Hi, baby. What you doing? Okay, how we doing here? I wish that I would go in front of a congregation and tell someone my shit. It ain't done their damn business. Okay, Lauren. I'll tell you this, Lauren. When I was in prison, I was in CMC, California Men's Colony, right? And all the preachers come in with the same, I don't know how they get away with it. It's the same stories told Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. How many, y'all don't know about the prodigal son yet? How many times you got to read and discuss this prodigal son? Anyway, they would come in. I wasn't getting anything from the preachers. I mean, I got almost nothing from them. But when somebody came into that prison, they would have ex-inmates, people who have doing hard time for murder, who have got out and changed their life. That is what got my attention. That is opens me up to the possibility that I don't have to live like this. They are overcome with a testimony. That's why you write about it. You tell the truth. Maybe you tell the truth, somebody gets helped by it. You'll get these little assholes, these little piss ants on here that come and say, oh, you said you stole. To me, weren't you a working prostitute? I mean, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. How do you make your living now, QB? I mean, I know you get a little bit from YouTube, but you smoke a lot of weed, dude. Drink a lot of alcohol, a lot of party things, and you need gas, and you need insurance, I assume. Where you getting your money from? Since all these things are so shocking to you. You know all of, I could see how your face lit up when I was talking about bartering in the book. You know about all that kind of stuff, boy. You know all about turning tricks. You know all about it. Stealing. There ain't no damn mystery to you. No new thing to you. You're from the slums of Chicago. Right? Everybody got the perfect family. Oh, my dad did this. My dad did that. Then when you actually go and talk to the people and they tell the truth, half of them ain't got a dad. Don't we know that? Don't we know that 3/4 of the black women are single mothers? Don't we know that? Why do we go and pretend that that's not the truth? They go in the damn church. Only person in the church is the preacher. You got a first lady because she's staying up under that money. And you got 2 or 3 deacons. They got I want, but all the rest of them divorced, remarried. Whatever. They all live in real life. All really living real, but they come in there. Holiness. Oh, I hate that when they say that. Holiness. I'm living holy. Holy. You what because you people. Even a person who doesn't know anything about God or Jesus, even them, they still want their husband not to cheat on them. They still believe in marriage. They don't use a lot of cuss words. Not because they're holy or they think they're holy. They're just people. Just being decent people, honey. You can be a decent person without being a Christian. Ask yourself, people. Here we've been locked down for 5 months. Are you about to die now because you haven't been to church in 5 months? I mean, really, are we surviving without the church? I'm not criticizing. I mean, I understand that people like to have a church family. What I'm saying is, we're the same people, even without giving them people $300 and $400 a month. You understand? We don't need some dude to come on there and talk for 20 minutes and give them a tenth of our income. Are you all suffering because you haven't been to church? I mean, really, they tell us that it's so important, but has it really been that important to you? Are you still not surviving, still loving your children, still taking care of your household as best you can? Right? Let them tell you got to go to church. Ain't nobody going to church. See, I'm fine. I know God the exact same way I did on the day I left church 5 months ago. Nothing's changed there, people. He's God. Oh, that's good. Chocolate dream. Yeah, I ain't criticizing that, honey. It's good to have your church family. Somebody to sing with you. But I mean, you go in there, you sing 2 or 3 songs. He talks for 20 minutes and that's it. But we're geared to believe that is essential. That is essential only because that is these people's livelihood. They can't have those big buildings and stuff without you. They need you to come in there. So they tell you about all this stuff that you feel like you're virtuous. And now you're holy. You see the way these people talk on here? They're the ones that say they're holy. Five Baby says she's a prophetess. We won't get into the other names. Church is only a building. What's in the heart is what matters, right? And it does not require you writing a check to the heart. I hope none of my church friends hear me talk. Sometimes I'll be saying, what must they think of me? The Bible tells you about Jesus. It gives you the story, the background. If it takes all that for you to believe in God, then the Bible does a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. That's my experience. Before we added the Jesus piece to it, it made no sense to me. I couldn't just throw my faith up in the air and hope for a miracle. I couldn't do it. Couldn't get there. So it took the gospel to get me to a place where, yes, I accept this story. This is real. Right? But does that mean now I got to go read the same story over again for the next 70 years? Huh? I mean, don't people go to college for 4 years? They go for 4 years and they read all these books, right? But then they read the same books for the rest of their life. At some point, you have to learn it. You need to know, you already know about the prodigal son. And even Christ himself said this is a parable, which tells you it's not real. It's a parable. I'm telling you a story to make you understand a point. Hallelujah. Hey, glory. I do miss that, though. I do miss church. I missed all the, when I got saved, honey, everybody in the building knew I was there every Sunday. It's a process. I long for that time. I feel like I was this close to God, like he was right here, honey. That was a wonderful period. But that's not forever. That's not sustainable. You got to run and then you walk. You walk. My grandmother, she knew God for 80 years. She was 10. She died in 92. It's a walk. It's a lifetime. Not because how great and wonderful and holy you is, but because how kind and generous he is. The power of God. So yes, we have to talk about it. We got to tell somebody. So in case somebody else is out there, like a man came in that prison that time. Man, maybe he don't know that he affected me that time, but this man took his time to come to the prisons to talk, right? And when he told the story about how he had killed a police officer now, I believe it was a police officer. So many of them came through there. And later got saved in prison, changed his life. They laugh about that. Oh, you got saved in prison. You know what? Why people get saved in prison? Because you're quiet. Your mouth is shut. You're in that cell by yourself, or one other person, but usually by yourself for months and months and months and months. And you have time to think, and you ain't high on shit. You're open to a new thing. Dirty church shoes. Where's dirty church shoes? I recently became aware of that person by that name. My name is Dirty Church Shoes. That means you've been dancing. I do miss the dancing, honey. I miss the hallelujahs with other people. Okay, I done went over time, people. I just wanted to hip you guys to Mr. The goings on of Mr. Q. Hey, it's QB. Mr. QB, here's my closing message for you. I think you're at the chapter entitled Meth Monster now. You have my permission. It is being recorded. You read the whole chapter if you can read. I'm not going to judge you if you can't read because I'm just selecting myself. But if you want to, tell the whole story. Tell it correct. Don't take things out of context. Okay? Bless you as well. All right, guys. Thanks for giving me a place to vent. I love you, people. I'll talk to you later.